These are the tales and ramblings of two men, their dream of running a successful food truck business and life. We invite you along to join Josh and Skippy on this journey. This is Monday Morning Food Truck.
Good morning, Skippy. Happy day after the Super Bowl.
Dun dun. Yes, I was falling asleep at that Super Bowl. But yes, happy days.
It was,
Happy days.
we got a good solid 7 months of people not complaining about having to see Taylor Swift at a football game. So,
Could you imagine if you had a drinking game of take a shot for as many times they show Taylor Swift on TV?
which wasn't a whole lot. Really, it wasn't. The first time she appeared was late in the second quarter. And then it was a handful of times after that. But
I still think you'd go through a fifth.
No, you wouldn't.
Oh, you would have too.
No, you wouldn't have.
You would have.
Anyways,
they showed her three times before the game even started.
Well, it doesn't count.
I completely understand. I'm just saying, if you did the whole broadcast, you'd be plastered.
She also played the game. I don't know if you saw that. There's a clip of her seeing her, and I think it was Blake Lively next to her that was playing with her. They showed her on the Jumbotron, on the internal, and she saw it, and they took a shot. So, again, she's not asking for it. Everybody shut the fuck up.
God. I'm not saying she is. My wife is my wife is the huge Swiftie.
I don't care if you're a Swift fan or not. It doesn't fucking matter. It's a person at a game. No one complained when Eminem was shown 42 times at a Lions game.
That's different.
Why?
Because it's Eminem.
Because he has a penis?
No, I do think it's different though. It's just I'm.
Why is it different?
I can come up with a couple of reasons, but I think it's different. Because.
Are you trying not to get us canceled?
Yeah, let's just leave it to that. Anyway, how was your week?
Fantastic. Yeah. Did some mudding and taping and drywalling and got some. I did some social media blitzkrieging. So lots of posts out there. I am getting an echo from somewhere. I am hearing myself.
Well, I hear every time you move your microphone.
Yeah, I'm hearing myself, which is weird. I'm not sure why.
Hold on. So I have something that says echo cancellation on my
maybe
board.
Mine got turned off.
Well, it says it's off, and when I hold the mouse over it, it says it can't be changed while recording.
Let me look at my stuff. Sorry, everybody. Oh, yeah.
For once, Josh doesn't want to listen to double himself.
I never do. I hate my voice. All right, well, anyways, I'll deal with it. Sorry if everybody else is getting an echo.
I can tell you I'm not getting an echo, so you're fine.
Okay. I'm going to guess if you're not, then no one else is. So, but if you are, the recorded stream, we shouldn't have it at all because we can remove it on the back end. So, there. Yeah, it was good. We had our. God, it's driving me nuts. It's loud enough that I can. It's like when the people call into the radio and they still have the radio on in the background. Like it's that clear to my headphones.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's really a struggle right now.
Can you pause the recording?
No, we'd have to. No, because there's not a pause. It's just a stop. And then we'd have to. It would be a whole separate. Anyways, not a big deal. I can deal with it. We had our Super Bowl pre-order, which we ended up with like 8 orders. It was like $800. They were all large orders. We cut it really, really close on a brisket. And I was hoping I would have extra. So we only sold, it was like 8 pounds of brisket or whatever. I got a 19-pound brisket. Thinking, sweet. I'll have 8.5 pounds to good to go. I'll have some left over. Awesome. get into trimming that thing, and there's like an 1.5 inch thick fat cap on the back. I was like, "Urgh." So I think we had 0.1 ounces over the weight we needed by the time we were done and cooked.
So no scrumptious leftovers.
No, not really. But I had plenty of pork left over. I did extra pork. Been trying to give my dogs less kibble, a little bit more real food. So
Yes.
they enjoyed some carrots and pulled pork.
My wife has been making her own dog food.
I saw that. She's doing a lot of raw, right?
Yeah. There's everything in here. There's mussels. Which mussels are cheap in case you want to ever buy them at the store. They're actually pretty cheap.
All right.
They got gizzards. They got beef burger. She basically grinds everything into a log and then puts it in the oven just to kind of solidify it, and then portions it out and throws it in the freezer. We take it out a day ahead of time. But yeah, it's good. Yeah, you were talking about Super Bowl orders. So my link has been alive for like 2 weeks. Now, Granted, I didn't really promote it too well, so that's my fault. I got my first order because I did not cut them off like a good, responsible businessman would have done. At 3:45 Saturday afternoon.
I thought you were going to say yesterday.
I'm getting there, Josh. Okay, I'm getting there. So one order, 3:45. It was for a rack of ribs, a half pound of brisket, and 6 pieces of cornbread.
Oh shit!
Now, mind you, I didn't have any of that stock available.
Yeah.
So after the coffee shop on Saturday, I took a trip to Meijer, grabbed a rack of ribs, an 8-pound brisket flat, and I did have cornbread.
Yeah. How'd your food cost look on that order?
Not good, but not good. So we went to. So come Sunday morning, I get 3 phone calls from people wanting to order food.
Of course.
And then I get to the cafe because I had to pick up a container, and the owners are there. They're like, "Yeah, we've had like no less than a dozen phone calls of people wondering what food you had today." So I think the cafe posted like what to do this weekend, and they posted me there yesterday from like 12 to 2 because that was my pickup date, was 12 to 2. So people thought that I was there. So I probably could have made a killing, but I wasn't there. A lot of people asking for burnt ends lately.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it went good. Chris came down because we had his house as one of our 2 pickup locations. Most of the food went with him. 5 out of our 8 orders were all up in Newego, which was good. But yeah, he came down. We portioned everything out. We did everything in half pans. Just because it was easier to keep warm and store in Cambros versus styrofoam. The only problem is all we had was half pans. So, I mean, there was a couple people that had a half pound of meat in a half pan, which is not proportionally a little weird. But we combined as much stuff as we could when we thought of it.
Yeah.
But once the pan's dirty, it's like, well, it's a dirty pan now, so might as well just foil it and call it good.
I did the one order I had, like I said, was a rack of ribs and a half pound of brisket. I cut the rack of ribs up, put it in one side of the half pan, and I had a small, like rectangular Weber, like mini pan. I put the half pound of brisket in that, wrap that, put a little juice in there, wrap that in foil, and then wrap the whole thing in foil. That was pretty ingenious. Use whatever you can find.
Yeah. Yeah, rib tips were good.
Yeah.
We might run them this year. I don't know.
They had a lot of people asking for them when I did them.
Yeah, and like, I mean, buying the ribs with the tips on them, the full spares, is the same price. You're paying the same price per rack.
Yeah.
So if you can make a little additional money on a rack of ribs, then it's just a little bit extra labor and some rub really.
Yeah, because after cooking each little strip or whatever you call it,
Mm-hmm.
it seems to be like almost a pound,
Yeah, that's kind of what I
give or
was
take.
figuring for math-ish. So,
I mean,
yeah,
some
I'm
are
not.
bigger than others, but
So yeah, we did.
yeah,
The thought was we would do a pound per order.
yeah,
Yeah, a pound. Yeah, so it was a. We did an order was a pound. I think we sold six rib tip orders, so we had to do 6 racks of ribs because we had four racks ordered, whatever. And yeah, it was just a little under 6 pounds that we had. So,
yeah, okay,
but we didn't really advertise that. We just did an order was $8. So we were kind of
yeah,
winging it afterwards. But yeah,
too
I
cheap.
think we could continue going with it and just see how it goes. We cooked them pretty much just like our ribs.
Yep.
So we rubbed them and put them on flat, and then put all the hunks into a pan and covered it
Yep.
with a little bit of butter.
I steamed the shit out of it.
Yep. And then after a little while, I went back and put some brown sugar on them and some sauce, tossed them like we would kind of wings, and then put them back on just to let things set. And
Yep.
yeah, they were sticky, they were good, but yeah, God, I just hate doing them. I don't like crunchy things and things that are supposed to be meat.
Yeah,
I don't get why people like them, but if you like them,
because
we'll probably have them.
they can come out tender, but they can also they can come out like jerky.
Yeah,
Like almost like that type of consistency with a chew is a little bit weird.
yeah, it's a pretty fine line. But yeah, I got about halfway through our delivery window. Everybody was pretty early. I think our last pickups were at about 2:45, and our window was 1 to 3. So Chris and I both had one in the last 15 minutes or so.
Yeah,
Which I fully expected. It is what it is.
yeah, for sure.
But it was nice playing with the online ordering, and I had sent out. You probably saw my post of, would you like to order online and pick up at the trailer for the summer? Pretty overwhelming response. Some valid concerns in there.
Yeah, I saw that. I was reading through them.
Yep. And all stuff that we thought of, kind of. And it's one of those things we're just not going to know. Like, is it going to slow down window customers? I don't know. I hope not. But if we have 10 call-in orders that we're working on, and someone walks up without a line, yeah, it's going to probably slow that one order down a little bit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the genius part of the online stuff is you get to mark when you start working on an order and when it's completed, and then it automatically sends a text message to that person.
Yeah, should be
yep.
easy.
So yeah, I mean, we can hold off on an online order for a second, and then go back to it. So,
yep.
But again, it's not. I don't know until we know, and we're gonna roll it out, I think, and we're gonna do a see how it goes type of thing. So we probably won't do it our first week, just because we expect to be busier. We got our own kinks and stuff to get through and figure out and make sure things are back in their right places, and just getting back into the swing of making food again. So, but yeah, probably second week or so we'll roll it out, and we won't have it for festivals. We won't have it for those kind of events, just because it would be too much chaos. Like a food truck Friday, there's no way we can let online ordering happen.
No.
I mean, it's when we already have a line of 50 people for 3 hours.
Would you ever consider using a kiosk, like the ordering kiosks?
I think we talked about this a little bit before.
The reason I asked, I went to the food hall a couple weeks ago. Only one company or one was utilizing a kiosk. Everybody else was, walk up, hand pay, stuff like that. But
yeah.
the Thai place was utilizing a kiosk, and I thought it was interesting looking.
I'm not opposed to it necessarily. I think what I said before is, a second trailer type of situation.
Yeah.
If we're going to have something more stationary, we can run it with one person type of thing. And you're still getting the customer interaction because you still have to hand out food, and, you can have those interactions then. And maybe you have a wider window so they can see in and kind of what's going on. You can interact better that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always the concern is when you go more technology, you lose the atmosphere a little bit. So not a big deal for a place like McDonald's where there's not a lot of atmosphere anyways. Your interactions with the staff there isn't what you're going for. And that's what some people brought up, it's like, well, I like seeing you guys. Okay, then still walk up. We're not getting rid of walk up ordering. It's
I like the comments you had about the people that were I don't always plan that far ahead. Don't give me an easier way to order because I don't plan that far ahead.
Yeah, and our biggest concern will be I have comments. Sorry, I got a text message that says I have comments. It says you have comments. That's all the text says.
Oh,
I don't know what comments were. I don't know where that's coming from. Anyways, all right. Sorry, I helped my wife set up a website. Also, she started blogging. So I don't know if my phone number is attached to a notification there, and then she got a comment on a. It's only been live for like 3 days, so
probably.
But I don't know. It doesn't help that we're running through. I got 3 different screens with our podcast on it, trying to YouTube comments. Thank you, Pam.
Oh, hi, Pam.
Pam's got our back. Oh, Bubba texted me. Thank you, Bubba. Pam says no echo in Florida. Well, that's good. I'll yell louder.
I will yell louder.
Bubba says, why offer pre-orders when your ticket time is less than 5 minutes? What is the purpose?
Bubba, that's a great question.
It is a great question, and I have a wonderful answer for you. Because we can. For us, it's the lunch crowd. We get a lot of people that order for other people. So we have one person coming in with 10 or 15 people's orders frequently. And that does slow things down. So that's part of it. And then the other part is, we have people that drive by, see a line and won't stop because you get a line of 10 people and then that line is now 5 minutes. It's 15 minutes. So, or 20 minutes. And a lot of people just don't have that time to go. So, if we can make it any easier for people to be able to stop by and grab food, the better. Also, rainy days would help a lot. For them to be able to order online and just stop and quick pick up.
Okay, so let's go into that because I think that's the reason that you would really use it as rainy days. I mean, I understand you have the awning, but rainy days are easy for everybody. Okay, I can just drop by real quick, jump in, jump out, and be done.
Yep.
So, or jump out, jump in. Sorry. How do you hold whatever? Like, if you get that online order or whatever.
Yep.
Do you make it right then? And then if you do you just throw it in the warmer?
And that was also some comments on that post that I had too. And it came from our Midwest energy group, who that whole office comes out. And they're used to waiting 20 minutes, after their order because it's kind of like a food truck festival down there.
Yeah.
And my answer was, you'll get a text when your order is in progress, and you'll get a text when your order is completed. I would start walking when your order is in progress. So from that office building to walk out to our trailer, if you get the text that says your order is being worked on, start walking then. My thought is that we will put the tickets in the order that they come in. So I think, and I'm still playing with the settings and stuff, but I think we can auto print tickets in Square.
Mm-hmm.
When I did it here, the tickets did not print automatically. You actually had to go in and on the register, it pops up as there's a new order, and then you have to go manually print the ticket, which is fine too, either way. So whenever we get that ticket, we see the order come in, we will add it into the queue of regular customers. So if there was already 3 people that ordered, and let's say he's in the middle of taking an order and an online order comes through onto the register. He can finish taking that order and then go down and hit the print button for that next ticket and then take the next order. So if there's 4 people in front of that online order, I'm going to make those 4 people first. Those other 4 orders that are at the window first.
Mm-hmm.
As far as hot holding, nope, not going to do it. And we'll make sure everybody knows that when your order is complete, it is sitting on a counter in a bag ready to go, just like you would for Uber Eats or whatever. It's there and ready. Come pick it up. And maybe we'll even do that. We'll have a table out there where we can set orders with a name on it, and they don't even have to come up to the window because they're paying online.
Yeah.
Do it like an Uber Eats type takeout section.
Mm-hmm.
Here you go. Here's your food. You don't even have to come up to the window at all. So, but I'm glad we're all having this conversation because it's a lot of those types of things. Like, how are we going to do it? How do they come up to the window, cut in front of everybody else, and then grab their food? That whole perception of everybody else in line. So trying to figure that stuff out. We'll get there, and there's going to be growing pains with it, but I think it's a worthwhile thing to explore. And for us, the other reason was when we're at bars and stuff. So we had talked about maybe doing pagers or that kind of thing. Because so often we have people walk out, order, pay, and then they leave right away and go back inside.
Yeah, I always have to yell at people, don't go far.
Yeah, so if we can prevent that where they get a text message saying your food is ready, that way we don't have to go searching for people. I like that. And we can do a QR to our online menu at every table in a bar easily and make it more accessible for them to order. Fran says on the Riverside app, I think you have to look at the type of service you want to provide from the customer's expectation. Agreed. And that's the other thing. We're not forcing people to online order. Our walk up to the window ordering will never change. I don't think it'll ever go away. At least not 100%. So if you don't want to order online, don't. I don't care. We're just offering it as a convenience to some people that either that's what they prefer.
Yeah, it's not a necessity.
That's what they have time for. All we're trying to do is gain more customers. So if we can make it easier and more convenient for people to get to us, then that's what we'll do. But we're not going to get rid of the face-to-face interactions completely.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's not my face, and God, who wants to see this? Which is why we have more podcast listeners than we have watchers. But we don't want to get rid of that. That's part of the joy of our customers coming to see us and chit-chatting about whatever's going on. We have a lot of them that we know personal life details, just because they've been coming to us for 5 years and we chit-chat and we've been through cancer battles with some of them and, they're our friends. So, yeah.
Yeah, we've come to know everybody.
Yeah.
The best part about the whole thing is just keeping it that type of experience versus just, one and done.
Yeah. Pam says you also lose the upsell option. Not entirely, because you can set it up to prompt for upsell items. Much like all the fast food kiosks do it now too. Would you like to add this on? So yes, Pam, we can have a pop-up that says you forgot the cornbread. So, and if I can pre-record your voice, Pam, maybe we can get that to add in there on the voice prompt. So, and then Justin Harris, also on YouTube. YouTube listeners this week are really making up for last week. Justin Harris, when we do bars, we drop laminated menus with a QR code to order online. If a patron walks up, we give them a table number and run it to them. Yep, I think it's a great idea. And that's kind of what we were thinking too. We'd mark the menus. If we had one on every table, we could mark the menus with a table number, and then in the comment section of their online order, they can put their location, or at least a description of what they're wearing. So that way we don't have to yell through the bar. Makes it a little bit easier. But thank you, Justin. Appreciate that. Wow, look at this conversation. Look at us. It's like we have a real podcast.
Wow. And we didn't need to talk about Taylor Swift. So we started, by the way, going back to the Super Bowl real quick.
Oh, God. All you guys do is talk about sports.
Hold on. George Kittle, right?
Yeah.
Has the thinnest long blonde hair I've ever seen out of anybody, right? So we started calling him Trailer Swift.
I thought he looked more like a anemic Fabio.
Oh gosh. I thought Trailer Swift was better. But okay.
I like that one too. Yeah. They're both good. Shit, like how do we go now? You okay, Skippy? Well, something.
I'm muted. I was coughing.
By the way, again, thank you for all our followers. It is nice to see we are nearly double digits on the YouTube feed right now, and a handful of participants on the Riverside app. It's good to see the growth. We had 0 YouTube listeners last week, which was super bizarre. I think that was the first time we've had that happen. But
and in all reality, it hurt Josh's feelings.
It did a little bit.
He might have shed a tear.
It did. I mean, my stepdaughter has like 170 followers on her YouTube channel, and I know.
How old is she?
She'll be 9 in another couple weeks.
Oh, might as well hire her as our marketing rep, huh?
I know. It'd be a lot of Roblox videos and of the sort. So
that's where the people are. They don't care about the chucks.
That's where the people are.
So
JT said he slept in, but chimed in later.
Thanks, JT.
Yeah.
Fran did say, any thought of having tickets that people can order from when they are in line? The answer to that is yes. You could easily put a QR code right on your side of your trailer or whatever and link it to your menu or link it to your online site. I don't know what the purpose of it is because we really wouldn't make their food until probably the people that are ahead of them are at least made. So they would end up, they would, instead of being in the service line, they would be in the waiting line. So I have to look into that a little bit more, but I don't know if that would work out.
The other thing we want to make sure is that we're not creating more work. You know, we don't want this to end up being more work on whoever's taking orders. I had another thought there for a second, but I lost it. So here's the downside. You're going to lose cash sales. So your credit card transactions are going to go up the more people that order online. Unless you allow them to pay when they get there, which I think defeats the purpose. A little bit. And then, what was the other thing I was thinking? Inventory tracking. So the amount of meat we have left, the amount of mac and cheese we have left. So if
you don't want to
So we put a QR code on the side of the trailer for people to be able to order online. All of a sudden, now we have 50 people ordering online. It gets hard to try to manage that. So Square makes it semi-easy to take things off of online availability, and still allows you to use it at the window. So it's maybe when we get down to our last pan of whatever is when we start taking stuff off for online ordering.
Yeah, the hardest part I've come to find out is how do you really realistically put your inventory in?
You don't,
because to have online, the tough part of having online ordering for us, like I could say I have 100 burger patties and people can order burgers online, but I can't say that I have because you have so many different things that you use one thing for. So I have a side of mac and cheese, but I also have a loaded mac and cheese. I have a mammoth mac and cheese, which is double the portion. So it's like, what? There's no way to put an accurate inventory, even if you did it by serving size. Like if I did 6 ounces, it's almost impossible unless you, unless you somehow do like 6 ounces and then the mammoth is like 12, and you can somehow get those inventories out. But it's like you could sell every bigger portion and not one small portion, and you'd run out in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's the tough part. The only thing I can think we can do inventory on would be ribs, probably. But the people that buy by the half rack and quarter rack, you'd be up a creek.
Yeah, and then you're adding more work for you because you have to go in and do that every morning.
Yeah, and that's the tough part. I think going back to Callahan's was I like the idea. I go through 2 cases of ribs a weekend, so people like them, I guess. But I think what I'm going to do is just open the online store for like ribs and like by the pound, and start posting like every day, hey, to ensure that you get what you want, please pre-order. And I think that might go somewhat well, so I'm going to try it here in the next couple of weeks, but that's tough because it's like you have to go in, make sure. It was cool to get an order because I get to see what it actually looked like. Yeah, it's a little bit different.
We got a couple more comments. I want to get Justin's first, and then we'll hit you, Fran, on Riverside. Justin said you could have an online order hours set up, and I saw that in there. So if you're selling for 3 hours, only have online ordering available for the first 2. And I think that's a great idea. And that's a good way to kind of take care of that inventory problem. And for us, I think we're heavily going to be using it for lunches versus dinners, for the most part. Yeah, we're going to roll it out slowly, and we're definitely going to start with lunches and see how dinners go. Fran says, I think there's a different need for roadside and festival vending for ordering methods. I don't disagree.
True.
Yeah.
So there is a different need, but there's also the same need. So it's like, okay, so you got roadside. If you happen to have a popular roadside day and you got 10 people waiting for you, it could be very similar to a festival day where you got 10 people waiting in line.
Yeah.
So yes, I can see that it can be, what's the saying? 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other.
Yeah.
But yes, I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, and again, the only way we're going to know is by trying it and figuring out what works for us, and more importantly, what works for our customer base.
Yeah.
If it turns out and that we get feedback that everybody hates it, then we'll stop doing it. Really. Yep. I'm not going to sacrifice our current customer base to get a new customer base. So I want to grow our customer base, not sacrifice one for the other. So, like I said, we're going to head into it slowly. I have 3 weeks before our season kicks off. I think 3 weeks, 4 weeks. We're at 4 weeks
Something
now.
Like that.
And I am going to have to spend probably 2 weeks really building up the online website so it looks like a 3-year-old didn't do it. So, because that's what it feels like right now.
Nice.
We're also doing an overhaul on our main website as well. So, yeah, it's going to be a busy last few weeks for us before we open. But all good things coming. We're excited about the responses we've gotten, and more importantly, I'm really excited about the constructive feedback we got and the genuine concerns, because that means that we have customers that care about what we're doing, and
absolutely,
that means the world to us. So, yeah. Now I want to touch base on one thing real quick, and I'm sure you saw it. Post from, oh damn it, who was it? I think it was Darren, maybe. He was nominated for an award, best of whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Was it Darren?
I think so.
Yeah.
I remember his response to being nominated to awards.
Yeah. So apparently, in a lot of places outside of Grand Rapids, or maybe outside of Michigan, I don't know. These best of awards are pretty much buy in to win type of thing. You're essentially buying votes from the publisher of the award.
Yeah.
Thank God ours aren't set up that way. And if they were, I mean, no one would care about them because they're so tainted. But yeah, for at least for Michigan, the two that we've been nominated for and the one we won, there was no financial responsibility on our part to the publications. They were all fan-based vote. I think we ran a 1-week boosted post for both of those on a 3-month-long voting window that said, hey, we're nominated. We'd appreciate your vote if you want to. But, and that was it. So I think we spent $30 to boost a post for a week and called it good. So yeah, they were talking that they had packages of like $10,000 to promote and gain votes. And I think that's just absurd. I don't know if anybody else has Travis Clark, JT said. It was Travis, not Warren. Darren.
Yeah.
Warren, Jesus.
I think, Travis sounds right.
Yep. So yeah, JT, I know you've been nominated and won. I'm going to guess it doesn't work that way in the Indianapolis area because you said you didn't even know you were nominated for the one that you won this year. So kudos to you, by the way. Good job. I guess my question to you, Skippy, is how much value do you put in those? And how much value do you think customers put into that kind of stuff?
Value, I mean, I'm a competitive guy, so value, I think it's in the eye of the beholder. I mean, if I definitely will ask people to vote for us. I think the first time we were nominated was our first full year, and I actually had a QR code board that I would take around with me. Hey, vote for us. Definitely did not work, and that's fine. It's okay. But I think it holds a smidgen of value if it's not like you said, where it's the bought and paid for kind of award.
But even if it's not, I mean, so your customers don't know that you bought it.
No. Excuse me. I apologize. That was okay. Loud. That was loud. That came out of nowhere.
And I got it on Echo too, so.
So the other thing is what do customers think? Not being able to see the number of votes that are cast in a lot of these awards, you really don't know. You don't know if it means anything or not. I mean, there could be in a town of 20,000, you could get 1,000 votes between however many food trucks are available. I think if we could see how many votes were actually cast, then we know it's important, or the importance of that contest or whatever it's called, best of thing.
Yep.
But until we see that, I don't think we can make a determination.
Okay.
Yeah.
Justin Harris, who has had a couple comments, also a new subscriber to our YouTube channel. So appreciate the subscribe. And for the rest of you listening that are not subscribed, hit that bell. Ring my bell.
Please, never again. Please. Please.
I do what I can to lose listeners.
Please. I think that's why we have such a good India following. They love horrible music.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think it can help. I think you can get a little if you win, or even be enlisted in. So the current one that we are is over, but we have to wait until May 1st for results. So Grand Rapids Magazine, they do their best of the best every year, blah, blah, blah. And then the winners get an actual little write-up for their category in the May issue. I think it can give you, winners, and then there's an honorable mention for second place. So I think you can get a little bit of a bump in business, especially for people that haven't heard of you, from seeing it and that kind of stuff. So,
But do you know this the subscription of this publication? Like as far as
how
it
many?
something? Yeah.
I'm not sure.
And that's so I found out when we were nominated that I thought it was cool that we were nominated, right? Like, hey, somebody really likes us and nominate us. Then I find out that they just went through the local directory and put every single food truck on there. So
ours are actual nominations. That was the first round of voting.
So yeah. I'm like, no wonder why I've got like 800 followers and somehow I get best food truck nomination. Anyway,
yes. So both of ours, they're both 2 rounds. So the first one's a nomination period, and the top 3 nominated whatevers get through to the finals. So
okay.
Justin Harris says first time, long time. So for the Bob and Tom fans out there,
yeah, first time, long time,
first time commenter, long time listener. Thank you, Justin. Appreciate it. Yeah. So that was a good talk. Good job. And then
hopefully you win. Hopefully you win.
Yeah, we were up for best food truck, best mac and cheese, and best barbecue.
Your mac and cheese is fair.
Well, thanks, Skippy. I appreciate the support.
Barbecue's halfway decent too.
Glad I'm not cooking for you.
So I stopped yesterday at one of our local competitors that I haven't tried. It's somewhat in town, out of town barbecue place, and I first met this gentleman at an event last February, and this was the food truck rally that was more of a barbecue food truck rally because there were 3 barbecue trucks and then like 2 other ones. Somehow they just let us all in. Anyway, so I met him. He had just had open heart surgery, and this was his first time out, and he was in a wheelchair or whatever, and he came up to look at the prices of our menu. And I know that because he told his son or somebody that was pushing him around, I just want to look at the prices of the menu. So that's my first interaction with him, because he didn't say hi, didn't say anything. Anyway, so I went and tried his food yesterday, and I got a brisket sandwich, I got some smoked wings, and mac and cheese and coleslaw. I asked for sauce on the side for the sandwich. And of course, when I opened up the bun, the sauce was slathered all over the sandwich. Sauce was good. The brisket was shaved. Shaved.
Like deli slice?
Like I could hold it like this and wiggle it, and like the wind would take it. That's how thin it was. I don't know if it was reheated or not, or whatever the case is.
I would say almost to get it that thin, you have to cool it, slice it, and then reheat it.
Or they have a really good knife skill person, like just a really good.
They should find themselves a better cook person,
right? They are using 2 small Southern Prides. I noticed that when he put a log in there, white smoke started billowing out of the smokestack. Anyway, so he's like, we just pulled some fresh wings off the smoker. Do you want to try them? I said, sure. He's like, they're jumbo wings. They're not the party wings. I said, okay, what's the price on them? He's like, 2 for $5. So 2 jumbo wings, $5.
Okay.
So needless to say,
so they weren't separated,
yes.
Right? So that's a 4 wing. Okay. So you're
Connected,
getting 4 wings, 4 wings for $5. Not horrible.
Yeah. True. They needed to go a lot longer. They were not raw, but you could not pull them apart, nor could you really bite through them.
That's why I don't like doing them full. You got to cut them. They cook a lot better when you separate them, in my opinion.
So the coleslaw was generic.
Mm-hmm.
The mac and cheese really got me. It didn't really have a lot of flavor other than just cheese. But it's that mac and cheese that he